Hi crafty friends, it's Lori with A Craft Party. Today I'm getting out our Reader's Digest book, junk journal, and I want to let you know that I put the signatures in here and recorded it, and the recording did not happen. So I will link a signature, how I did put the signatures in from a different video, and I will link that in here so you can see how those were placed in. So today I'm going to set the junk journal off to the side, and I am going to trim off the edges of this where it's white. Okay. And it's okay if it's a little rough. I need to change my blade on my cutter, but it's not going to matter that it's a little rough, so I'll worry about changing that at a later date. I'm sorry I didn't get it filmed where I put the signatures in. I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but it's choosing when it wants to record and not. Okay, and then we're going to cut this at about 2 inches. Okay. Yeah, it's really getting bad. So then I want to take, I laid out a couple different laces. I want it to be just roughly about the same size as there's my scissors. Roughly the same size as my book, my junk journal. So I'm just gonna trim that there. And this paper, I got it from Keepsake. This is the extra papers by My Porch Prints. I know I've used this several times before. I just think that the pattern she uses is really nice. I am going to check out, let's put that in there, check out and see yeah, I think I like this one. First one I chose. Well, should I try this one? This one's not quite as lacy. I think I'm going to go with the more lacy one this time. There we go. Move that off to the side. And looking to see which one is the right way. And I'm going to cut them a little bigger than the piece of paper. And we're making a bookmark. I know I didn't say that yet. And I'm going to cut them. I just prefer that they be a little bigger than the paper, then that way when I do go to glue it down, I can always cut off the excess. Okay, and I've got some Fabri-Tac here. And I'm just going to run a line of Fabri-Tac. And then if you look at your lace, you'll see the sewing seam on one side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's between my fingernails. That is the back side. You want that down. And then just Press that down. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just run a bead of glue down the side. Look for that thread, which is right there, and flip it over. And if you need to, you can always use a binder clip. I love these binder clips to help keep things where I want it. If you need to. If you don't need to, then that's fine too. And I am going to, I don't think there's anything, this is just papers. Yeah. Let me see if I can find some fussy cuts. Keepsake journal kit freebies. We'll pull this out, see what we've got in here. Set this off to the side just so it'll dry while we're investigating. That's kind of neat. Oh, this isn't small enough for what I need. Here we go. Here's the one I was thinking about. Keepsake, Ephemera, and Fussy Cuts by My Porch Print. We'll set this off to the side. I'm going to have everything set off to the side here, and no room for anything. Let's see. I've got a lot of it cut out already. There's that. Here's some fussy cuts. Ooh, but that doesn't go. Too big. Too big. Too big. Too big. We'll run into the same problem. Ooh, that could be interesting. These fussy cuts are quite large. Okay, let's go with that and see what we can't do. Put all these large fussy cuts back in here. I'm sure we're going to get them back out. They're really nice fussy cuts. Put those all away. Set that off to the side. Now we've got our bookmark, and I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. Keep that because we might need that. Okay, and I am going to get out the ink, Distress Oxide Vintage Photo, and I've got a dauber. Going to ink this up. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink these all up just so I can see what they look like, and if I don't use them, they'll be ready for the next time. And I think I'm going to put a button on. Have to get the buttons out. Oh, I got some sitting here. Maybe I'll just try to use one of them. I've got such a big bucket of buttons that I try to put it away, and now I don't know what exactly I did with it. I know if I looked for it, I would find it pretty fast, but I'll just use the ones here in the cup on my desk for now. Hopefully there'll be one to use in there. And I'm going to do this one up too, just in case. Okay, we've got that. Put that off to the side. Put that back in the little dauber bowl. And we've got a little bit of everything set in here. We can put that there. What about layering it like this? And grab the buttons. Got a little bit of everything in the button bowl. Ooh, and there's a green one right on top. Yeah. Okay. I like the looks of that. Let's kind of get an idea of try this one. It's got more green on it. That's I want to bring the green in. No, I kind of like that, and I think what I'm going to do is also bring in the foam. And I know I've said it before, but I like to glue my foam to my paper. And I'm just going to use the Fabri-Tac because it's here. I like to glue that down, and I try to remember to. Not always do I remember. But I don't think the sticky on the double-sided foam always works. So give that a little bit of a raise. Now, do we want this to be raised up too? Yeah, let's raise this up too. And I'm not sure where I got the double-sided foam. I want to say that I got it at the Dollar Tree, and there I forgot to glue that down. Yeah, see, and it's peeling right back up. There we go. I want to say I got it at the Dollar Tree in the hardware section. But I could have got it in the craft section at Dollar Tree too. But I may not have even got it at Dollar Tree. But I want to say that's where I purchased it, in that Dollar Tree. Okay. And then we're going to slant this a little also. And we're going to place this button right on top, I think. think that's big enough that I can, oh, that's a nice piece of wax thread. Gonna go through one side, go through the other. Put a couple knots in it, and then I'll leave a little hang off. Keep that for later. Might be able to use that. And then we've got, put some Fabri-Tac on the back of this. And now we have a button on our bookmark. This all can go back in the fussy cut bag since we didn't use it. Okay, and now we need to do something about the top of the bookmark. And I think find my center. Haven't used this punch in a while, so hopefully it works. Yeah. Okay, and then I have some reinforcement labels, and I am also going to put some glue on those, or around the, just because I'm not so sure. I believe I got these at Dollar Tree too, so not always trustworthy to be nice and sticky. And we will put on a second one on the back. Okay. Put them up. And I did use Vintage Photo to darken these up a little bit. They were white, but I just used Vintage Photo on a whole sheet of them. Okay, and now we need something. I'm going to use some ribbon coming out of here, and I'm going to try to find something to match this green. So give me 1 second. I'll see what I've got over here. Here's the first thing that I found, was a bucket, or bag I mean, of stuff, and I really like that. That really goes well, except for the purple. Let me see if I can get a piece that doesn't have, yeah, it has the maroon and green, but not the purple. We'll put the purple back in there to use at a later date. And I'm just trying to decide how I wanted, if I want it to go through this way. I think I want it to go through the other way. There we go. Nope, I did it wrong. I want it to go through the front. I like that look better when it goes through the front. Okay, and then the wraparound is in the front. That's the way I like it. I'm not going to really be able to tell with this. And I'm going to leave them a little longer than normal, but still cut it off. Keep that in the bag for a later date. Might be able to use that for something. And now I've got a bookmark to go in here. And tassels. What I should do while I'm thinking about it is put a little glue on there. That way the strings will eventually mesh together and not be able to be pulled apart. There we go. So that's all for today. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's always nice crafting with you. And as always, hugs.